Sobriety is about the journey back to yourself. And I want to explain what that means. When we have an alcohol problem, we leave ourselves by degrees, right? And it's like we can't notice it. It's so subtle that we can barely notice it. But it's like this. And then one day we wake up over here and we have become someone that we don't recognize. And here's how we do it. It's just like little things, right? We maybe call in sick to work and lie because we're hungover, or we we're flaky about something, or we let someone down, or we're a bit manipulative, right? We do things that are out of alignment with our values and who we really are. But like, one-off thing, nobody's perfect. I'm definitely not perfect. One-off little thing, what's the big deal? But here's the thing, they all build up. It's like compound interest. I lied, I manipulated, I stole. And that just happened all the time because managing an alcohol problem and all that comes with it, I couldn't show up on time. I couldn't meet my obligations. I let people down. So I just became this like fake, shallow version of myself. Now, here's what happens. All those things began to add up, right? My relationship with alcohol started because I believed it was the best way to have fun and I wanted to have fun. I was a teenager, right? That's how my relationship with alcohol started. And there was consequences from the get-go, but those didn't really seem to matter when I was a teenager. Then, as I kept going, all these behaviors, the lying, the manipulating, the compound interest of having the alcohol problem. So then I needed alcohol to manage how bad I felt about myself. That's a really important bit to understand. I felt so bad about myself. I didn't like myself. And you don't like yourself when you show up in the world in a way that just isn't you, right? I am an on-time person. I meet my obligations. I again, not perfect, but I sleep very well at night. I don't lie, I don't steal, I don't cheat, all of that kind of stuff. When you behave like that, it's just so painful. You need an anesthetic. You have to have an anesthetic. And all of these things add up really quickly, like the compound interest of it really, really quickly. And we wake up one day and it is so painful to realize that you have become someone that you just don't recognize anymore. And what's worse is I could see how other people were experiencing me. Like I could see people weren't gonna promote me or rely on me because I had an inkling of how my behavior was. And it's like inside I was screaming like, no, I can do it. I am reliable, whatever. But they had very different experiences of me, right? People judge you by your behavior, not your intentions. So this compound interest of just having to numb the pain of like, oh, you did a stupid thing, you said a stupid thing. Now, this bit is really important. Sure, when we are intoxicated, we can do stupid things, right? We've all woken up and regretted, oh my God, what did I say? Did I say something to somebody like, oh my God, I can't believe I said that. You're so mortified that you would never say or do that thing if you hadn't been under the influence of alcohol, right? Drunk drive, like there's just tons of things you would never do if you hadn't been drunk, right? So there's those things. But I'm going to tell you, most of my behavior, my bad behavior that wasn't great, that I'm ashamed of, most of that happened when I was stone cold sober. And the reason it happened was because I was so disconnected from myself. I just was over here. I was so disconnected from who I really was that I was just capable of behaving and showing up in a world that was just wasn't me. And that's painful. So you need an anesthetic. Do you see how this works, right? So the pain at some point is actually going to be very motivating. It's emotional pain. This is why we drink. We drink because we don't like ourselves. We drink because we don't like how we show up in the world. We drink because it's so uncomfortable to be us. By the way, there is a program. It should be in the comments. My breakthrough program. That's what it helps with. It helps with all of this. It helps with the journey back to yourself. Check it out. So this is why when I say sobriety is 10% not drinking alcohol and 90% emotional sobriety. And I have tons of videos and content on it's specifically what to do to be emotionally sober. We can't just stop drinking, because if we just stop drinking, we're here, right? We haven't returned to ourselves. Emotional sobriety is how you return to yourself. And it's behavior change. It's making small changes to your behavior. It's about getting in alignment with your values. It's about becoming the person that you were always meant to be. And as you go on this journey, you reconnect with who you really are. I'm just going to tell you, there is no buzz, no high, no euphoria that can come close to living a life of being fully connected with who you really are. And that's my work. That's what I do, by the way. I don't just help people stop drinking. I take people on that journey, because there's no other way. There is just no other way if you're someone like me. I couldn't settle for not drinking, but living my life not liking myself very much, right? So when I say about emotional sobriety, and when you're emotionally sober, you feel comfortable in your own skin and you like yourself, that's because you have returned to yourself and you're fully in alignment with your values. And all of this is part of, and then you can become, we're all just growing human beings. We are growing, we are discovering, like alcohol just takes up so much time. There's so much noise going on in the background when we are drinking, right? Imagine who you could be if that was gone. Like, imagine, what would you do? What would you think? What would you do in the world, right? It's just incredible. And you can't see it when you're in it. You cannot see the enormous weight that alcohol has in your life and how much it's taking up, right? You just can't see it. But trust me, sobriety is about expansion. Drinking is about limit. It limits you. I mean, which one do you want? Expansion, right? I don't want small and limiting. So this journey is the most important thing. This is where you need to be putting your time, your money, and resources into this journey of being fully in alignment with who you really are. It's about behavior change. It's about discovery, right? When I stopped drinking, like, I was such a people pleaser, fake person, just wanted you to like me, manipulative. I didn't know if I liked hamburgers or hot dogs. Like, I had no idea. Because if you like hamburgers, I liked hamburgers, because I wanted you to like me. And I thought, if I like the same thing you like, then you'll like me. So I was like, well, maybe, I don't know, maybe I do like hot dogs. So it's about discovery. It's like, who are you really? And this is what you're here to do. Like, this is so much more than not drinking alcohol. There is so much more to this deal than just putting down the drink. It is about, it gives you the bandwidth to explore and learn and grow and become. And that is what life is about. That is what life is about. That's what you're here to do, not to argue with yourself about whether you're going to have a drink today or not. Please check out the resources below. They will help you, and let me know what you think about this video. But sobriety is about the journey back to yourself.